Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Golden Boy's Oscar De La Hoya claims that Errol Spence Jr. needs him and needs a promoter. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We work in Oscar De La Hoya on his verified account. Former fighter, Golden Boy founder. He says, Errol Spence can be like my hero, Sugar Ray Leonard, who just recently had a charity event. Shout out to the legend, Sugar Ray Leonard. But Errol has no promoter to plan out and guide his career. Hashtag strategy, which he misspelled. Hashtag Golden Boy. And this is all in response to a fan who says, get Spence while you're at it, recommending that Golden Boy acquire the talents of Errol Spence Jr. Now, I'm going to make this a quick video, but I think what's happening here is boxing has always been ran a certain way, and now what's in the best interest of the fighter is coming to the forefront, right? Fighters are smartening up. Remember when Jay-Z told Nas on the disc, smarten up, Nas? That's how it is with these fighters. These fighters are smarter than ever, more business-minded, have better teams, have teams that may or may not be looking for their best interest, but hopefully are looking for their best interest. And some of these guys don't have a promoter. They have an advisor like Al Heyman who's guiding the career. Some guys have a promoter. And now you have people who are so used to the old way. See, people don't like change. People fear the unknown, fear change. And now you have promoters who like De La Hoya, who keeps trying to acquire the Deontay Wilders of the world. Hey, sign to Golden Boy, and I promise you, you'll be a superstar, and Anthony Joshua will be begging to fight you. Right? But the thing is, you got to look at what people say and if that makes sense. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy, used to work with Al Heyman fighters, aka they did work with Deontay Wilder. So they actually managed and promoted more Wilder fights probably than Wilder had without them. You know what I mean? Because they stopped working together a few years ago when Premier Boxing Champs was created. You know what I mean? And Richard Schaefer left and stuff like that. So Golden Boy had an opportunity to create this monster in Deontay Wilder and make him a household name. And the fact is, Wilder hasn't been working with Golden Boy for some years. The Charlos haven't been working with Golden Boy for some years. Errol Spence hasn't been working with Golden Boy for some years. And these guys, their careers are brighter than ever right now. And they haven't been working with Golden Boy. So I don't think these guys necessarily need a dedicated promoter, because you have to look at the promoter and look at the fighter relationship. A lot of these promoters are just an extra expense. You know what I mean? You already have to pay an advisor, a manager. You got to give your trainer a cut. And these guys like Errol Spence, he's getting a hometown fight. He's getting a title opportunity and moving through the ranks without having a dedicated promoter. And just having a promoter per case-by-case basis. Like if he fights at the Barclays, then it's Lou DiBella. If he fights and challenges Kell Brook, then it was a Matchroom Eddie Hearn orchestrated promotion, right? So I think it's just a sign of the times. These fighters are smarter. I don't think Errol Spence should go over to Golden Boy, because you look at it, and this is historically speaking, name one black fighter that Golden Boy currently has that is anywhere near as big as Canelo, right? Because fighters have to look at that. You have to look at someone's track record. If I'm going to hire someone to do wedding photography, then I'm going to see their portfolio. I'm going to see past weddings that they've covered. If they've only covered high school football games, then that may not work, because these are different types of pictures. Maybe you could be good taking fast-paced pictures, but can you capture the moment of an elegant wedding, you know what I mean? And the sunset and landscape backgrounds and stuff. It requires different camera settings. So yes, De La Hoya has worked with Canelo and helped rise his career to prominence, but who have they done that to that's an African-American fighter? You know what I mean? In fact, a lot of the African-American fighters that are with Golden Boy, you probably haven't even heard of. Some of you guys have. But I think Keandre Gibson, right? Rashid, Speedy Ellis, like, they're not household names, despite how good they are. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, the promoters try to leech on to fighters who are already doing well for themselves. The fact is, Wilder has power with or without a promoter. The fact is, Wilder has, in addition to knockout power, he has a mouthpiece where he's going to entertain and talk his little shit with or without a promoter. Errol Spence has skills and experience with or without a promoter. So what are you really going to do? Like, what would De La Hoya really and truly do for Errol Spence? You know what I mean? And I know little promoter tricks. Like, you notice Canelo versus Golovkin, they didn't just do a press tour for the second fight, because they said, oh, you know what, we'll just stop in LA, do one press conference or so, because they did a press tour and they pulled out all the stops in the first fight, and they figured with the Adelaide Bird card and the press tour from the first fight, why do one for the second? We can cut costs right here, and the fight's already kind of promoted. And that's what they did. They didn't do an additional press tour. So, I mean, what would De La Hoya or Golden Boy exactly do for Errol Spence that is not being done right now? He's getting main events right now. He fought Lamont Peterson main event. He's fighting Ocampo, his mandatory, taking care of that main event. He fought on Showtime versus Kell Brook overseas, challenged the champion as a challenger, you know what I mean, without a dedicated promoter. He's already skillful. He's already learning on the job. Shout out to Cortez Bay. Check out my interview with him. He was there when Mayweather sparred him. So he's already getting clout from past experiences and, you know what I mean, people who've been around the game like Cortez Bay, guys like Freddie Roach and Floyd Mayweather. He's already getting cosigns. So again, what is De La Hoya really going to do? And in fact, it sounds like more of a desperation attempt to sign a top-notch guy because you see how good he is. So you're saying, oh, you could be the next Sugar Ray Leonard if you had a promoter. He could still be the next Sugar Ray Leonard. He's clean cut, he's well-mannered, and he can scrap. And he has room to even grow and get better and better. And Texas is behind him. You know what I mean? So I think it's just like promoter gimmicks trying to lure him in. Look at Joseph Jojo Diaz. Golden Boy, they put him on showcase fights and co-main events on the Canelo Triple G card, things like that. He fought Gary Russell Jr. and he came up short. So he lost. You know what I mean? No shame in it. You gave him a good fight, but he lost. So, I mean, as a promoter, it doesn't matter what you do. You led Joseph Jojo Diaz to the promised land. He's an Olympian. He was on the same class as Errol Spence Jr. But then when it came to a title shot, he came up short. And I thought he definitely lost that fight with Gary Russell Jr. So at the end of the day, the promoter can't fight for you. You know what I mean? So even if you were to give him some press or more exposure, Errol Spence is the one that's still got to win these fights. You know what I'm saying? And I think right where he's at, he's been doing good. Building his brand, building his name. People fear him in the division. You know what I mean? You don't have too many people calling him out, talking super greasy, and really trying to sign the contract for the next fight when they mention him. So, I mean, I don't see what Golden Boy thinks they're going to do to Errol Spence that is not already currently in motion, you know what I mean, with his career. And I talked to Errol Spence, and he said, why do I need a promoter? And that's what it is. I think the Errol Spences and Mikey Garcia, they will sign with the promoter if it's like some crazy deal that just has them so straight. It's like Joshua getting $50 million, something that's crazy. I'm not saying they need $50 million, but I'm just saying on their own case-by-case basis, it's going to have to be a deal that they just can't pass up. But if you're going to try to sign them to a multi-fight deal and you don't really have nothing that you can promise them, then what's the point? You know what I mean? It's just like, one thing I do know is YouTube. And they have these things called MCNs. It's a multi-channel network where I can pay and get paid through it's a multi-channel network. So basically partner up with a company who is going to promise me all these things, but there's no guarantee that they could get me more views. You get what I'm saying? So since I've opened my channel, I've never done that. Everything that I've done here on my channel is independent through the hustle and muscle. You know, I never teamed up with nobody in that capacity and said, hey, I'll get paid through the multi-channel network, because I don't need it. I figure if I work hard, I'm going to get to where I need to be. Now, if it takes longer, it takes longer. But at least I don't have someone taking a cut of my money, 30%, especially when they can't promise me. Like, if they could say, oh, sign to my multi-channel network and we're going to quadruple the amount of views that you currently get, then that's something. But they can't none of them can promise you that. They say, oh, we have We have some royalty-free music that you can use. I could get royalty-free music. I don't need that, right? Oh, you can speak with our staff. I mean, I've been doing YouTube and learned on the job. I don't need to speak with no staff. I know the community guidelines. I know how to navigate in the menu options and stuff. So what could they really offer me? It's the same thing. And like I said, Errol Spence, he's already getting a title shot, title defenses against respected people like Lamont Peterson, a hometown fight against his mandatory, and he's gaining fanfare. So it just sounds like De La Hoya, with all the recent losses that Golden Boy have taken. Canelo's not in the best light because of the clenbuterol scandal, Clingate. Joseph Jojo Diaz just lost. David Lemieux can't make weight, and he missed weight again. You know what I mean? He missed weight versus James De La Rosa. I've seen other times he had to weigh in naked with the towel. He can't make weight for this upcoming fight against a no-namer that he's fighting. He looked horrible versus Billy Joe Saunders. Who else is with Saddam Ali? Just got knocked out by Jaime Munguia. You have Jorge Leonard, who just got knocked out by Lomachenko. So, I mean, I feel it. It's a hustle. You know what I mean? The promoter, obviously, if they have the money, they're going to try to acquire Errol Spence. But I think he's good where he's at. But ultimately, it's up to Errol Spence. If he wants to go to Golden Boy, then fuck it. But Oscar's been throwing this bait out for a while to Deontay Wilder and the Charlos or whoever, and Errol Spence. And none of them have come close to even signing that I know of to him. And a lot of them worked with him in some capacity when Al Haymon fighters worked with Golden Boy. So that should show you something. Why wouldn't they just jump at the offer? If they felt they were better over there, then they would go on to greener pastures. And it's just so funny that so many people have so many things to say about PBC and Al Haymon, how he conducts business, and he's buying time slots, he ran out of money, and his fighters are inactive, fighting 1 time a year. But why are they all loyal to him? For the most part, why are they staying with him? You know what I mean? The only major fighter that I could think of that had a major beef that was like publicized was Vanes Martirosyan, and he just got knocked out by Triple G, and he didn't fight for 2 years after leaving Al Haymon. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it. You know what I mean? Eddie Hearn's like, oh, PBC, they could have did this differently, and they're buying time slots, and I got DAZN and this new streaming app. But you reached out to Broner, who's with Al Haymon, advised by him, and he's making a mockery of you and laughing at your offer and saying, I'm loyal to Showtime and Al Haymon. You know what I mean? De La Hoya is reaching out to Errol Spence time and time again, Deontay Wilder, and none of these guys, to my knowledge, have budged and signed the contract to go over to Golden Boy as their promoter. So that has to tell you something. Sounds like they're good with no promoter or good with where they're at. You guys let me know what you guys think. Does Errol Spence need to get a promoter like Oscar De La Hoya? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.